The International is the crown jewel of Valve's esports empire. And every year, millions of people tune in to watch the best Dota 2 teams in the world fight over Gaben's pocket change. The ambitions are high, but the stakes are even higher. And in spite of all of its prestige, all of the attention around it, and the level of responsibility it entails, Valve left a lot of it in the hands of, well, this guy.
My name is Sir Action Slacks. I'm going to be your impromptu host for this series. Congratulations. Sheever has,
You're looking at the wrong camera, Slacks.
She's gone to bed. Huh? That's the camera I'm looking at.
This is Licky.
Yeah, she's Ricky.
Oh, Licky. Hello, Licky.
Yeah.
Yes, what's wrong with this cow?
Oh my God!
Licky shit on me?
Sir Action Slacks' favorite food, really anything. I don't know if you've looked at me, but I'll eat fucking garbage. I don't care.
But somehow, between the awkwardness, the annoyance, and the weird antics,
Sir Action Slacks has fallen.
Slacks leveraged his complete disregard for other people's comfort to collaborate with Valve and help produce the biggest esports event on the planet.
Welcome to the International.
So why the hell would one of the most secretive gaming companies in the world trust their most prized esports possession to this screechy, bumbling buffoon?
Hey, ladies, how you doing?
Now, in order to understand just how bizarre it is that Sir Action Slacks became Valve's right hand, you need to understand where this helium-filled memer came from. Well, it all started with some strange sounds coming from Jake Canner's bedroom.
Go, boy! Yeah! Saved your life, you scurvy little fuck! Save life! Come after me! Look at me!
Now, those guttural nerdgasms you just heard might sound like complete nonsense, and that's because they are. But for Slacks, they actually served a purpose.
Dota 2 can be a very aggressive place for a new player. People don't like it when you don't know what's going on. And I got flamed religiously when I first started off, like most new players. And then I decided, how can you flame somebody who sounds like an idiot? So I used to play Gyrocopter. I have like 500 Gyrocopter games. And I'm horrible at the hero. But the entire time, if you're running around sounding like an old, confused man, nobody flames you, they just laugh about it. Anywho, that's the story, I guess. I don't know what the point of it was. Oh, shit! Suck a dick, you fucking bear!
Now, what started as a way to diffuse sweaty pub games and pass the time with friends actually ended up resonating with a lot of Dota fans. So much so that when his computer died, his followers not only raised enough money to replace it, but thousands of dollars more to send him to TI4 to create content. TI4 was the place where Slacks was finally able to bring his obnoxious brand of online comedy to the real world, and launched his rampage of appearances throughout the Dota tournament circuit.
Sir Action Slacks here in the line, filming a bunch of people who I got no permission to film, and we won't blur out their faces. We're here in these very comfortable seats where my knees are bleeding, sitting in. What is this shit? I'm not even huge. What happened and what are you excited about?
China, go home.
Oh shit, dog! You guys are fucking gangsta.
Slacks' comedic approach to interviews and content helped him stand out in a scene known for taking itself a little too seriously.
How's it going, buddy?
Not good.
What are you doing all the way over there? Scooch in a little bit, man. Get comfy. You don't want to touch Fear? I want to touch Fear.
Touch him. I don't want to touch him.
Why not, bro? Look at him. He's beautiful.
I'm not that guy, man.
He really grabbed the community's attention, and sometimes the community grabbed right back.
There was one guy, every TI, he assaults me. He grabs my ass and he looks at me in the eyes. And I told him several times, don't stop doing this. And he does it. And he has this big old smile. And I tell him, bro, next time you grab my ass, I'm gonna grab your ass. And that he went for it last time, and then I went for it at the same time, and things got real weird. Whose parent is sending this kid out, flying him out to every TI to grab my ass? I don't know.
Guys, it's 2020. Stop honking ass at events, even if it happens to be attached to Slacks. Anyway, that first brush with TI greatness led to more and more paid event gigs. But just because he was now attending in an official capacity, Slacks never toned down his wild personality.
Slacks, Macho Man in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh no! What? Talking? Yes! No! Like the hog! No! Taking it! She's gonna attack! Oh! What are you doing? What are you doing?
So after building up recognition as an on-cam personality for tournaments that other people ran, Slacks felt inspired to start organizing his own. And that's how we ended up with Midas Mode. The rules don't really make sense, and the mascot is a sentient yellow sock who's basically a Bond villain.
It is I, the Hand of Midas!
It's all a big joke, but the fans love it.
I mean, the feel of a event and having a hand and setting up exactly what that feels like for the entirety of it is pretty amazing. So it was a natural progression to try to move up from making just little videos to kind of experiences and planning kind of all the content that goes into that entire event. And it's a really cool way to push forward, because I feel like if you're just doing the same thing over and over again, you're just kind of getting into a rut.
Legit esports teams are participating in this thing. Fnatic, Team Liquid, and even the meme-loving multiple TI winners, OG. And Slacks was even able to net himself an extra special guest.
And now, Gabe Newell!
Welcome to Midas Mode.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Slacks was able to convince Gaben to record an introduction to his tiny little joke tournament. Meanwhile, the man hasn't shown his face at a CSGO major for the better part of a decade.
Oh, Daddy, why? Why won't you hug me?
But as much as Slacks enjoyed running Midas Mode, he was craving something bigger. He wanted to know what it would be like to subject the biggest audience in Dota to his cringy-ass content. And while reaching out to a notoriously unresponsive monolith of a company like Valve is the definition of a crapshoot for most people, believe me, we've tried, Slacks was determined to make it happen. He approached Valve with a plan for producing TI8's content, and shockingly, was actually welcomed into the fold. Slacks was given creative license to figure out how to make the international and even more entertaining event. A lot of responsibility for our facepalm-inducing, soprano-toned hero.
Now, I'm not going to take credit for everything that happened at TI. It was very much, I was like, here's my idea. Valve was like, here's how we interpret your idea to work. We work together and we make this great product. But Gaben, from fucking day one, in bold letters, Gaben announcer pack. It was all I wanted. It almost died so many times. It was like, I fucking storyboarded that shit. I helped write that shit. We got Gabe in there and we actually recorded the lines together.
You've killed more than 2 people in less than 4.
Oh, I almost cried when I watched it actually go in. It was like fucking. Do you know what it's like to write lines for Gabe Newell and he fucking reads them out? That's insane.
Slacks really knocked it out of the park with his vision for TI8. His content was so well received that Valve brought him back for TI10, which will, without a doubt, be colossal.
It's been pretty interesting trying to like capture, you know, the heart and soul of TI, because it's an interesting event. You have to not only make content for people that love the game, you also have to now make an event about the host country. But then you also have to make the only program that anyone that doesn't play Dota ever watches. Because Dota 2 is the Wakanda of esports. Nobody knows what the hell's going on over there, but they do know that it exists and they have fantastic technologies. You have to make it entertaining, fun, and you have to make it not cringy, which is extremely difficult for Casey, not for me in any way.
Excuse me?
But as much as we rag on him and he rags on himself, Slacks is deserving of everybody's respect and admiration. Building a career in content creation is no easy feat, but to earn the trust of gaming's most mysterious and revered company, that speaks volumes about his character.
I think the first thing to say is that he's an incredibly smart man who acts really stupidly. And by that, that's not a derogatory remark, by the way. He's a bundle of fun and a bundle of energy on screen and in front of other people and during an event. But he's also like it behind the scenes as well. He's a lot of fun to be around, a lot of fun to work with. And usually people like that, I don't necessarily gravitate to them. But But Jake is different. Everyone loves Jake. Everyone is kind of lifted by him. His spirit is so big that he seems to infect everyone in a positive way. And his, his sense of humor is incredible, and his work ethic is amazing. And I think a lot of people outside of the industry, or on the fringes of the industry, fans in particular, would only ever look at him as the funny man and not give him the credit that he deserves.
But in spite of the tremendous responsibility that now rests on his shoulders, Slax at his core remains the perfect caretaker for TI. He's the ultimate Dota superfan, and he's dedicated to giving back to the community for as long as he can.
I didn't think I'd be ever doing this. I mean, back in my day, you played games, it was with your buddies on your couch, there was no esports, there was nothing, and now this is my life. If I was an adult and I went back and told myself as a kid this is what was going to happen, I would have thought that I was about to be kidnapped, because that's definitely could not be true.
The rules don't really make sense. But that might be too loud. The rules are not making sense.
I guess, okay, if there's one thing that people should know about me, it's that, listen, if we're in a pub together and we're losing, that's not the real me, okay? Everybody's a little angry, everybody's a little toxic on the internet, all right? I'm a good person, and you're a good person too, but if you're, you're not landing your stunts, I'm gonna give you a little flame. I'm sorry about that. So know that I'm not as a horrible person as you think that I might be if you ever happen to play with me in a pub. I swear, kind of.